What is going on? We are back in the garage on Thanksgiving Day, waiting for the big feast. But we're also getting stuff ready for Bob to go to the dyno. We're on the last couple of things that need to be done. One of which is the catch can that connects to the valve covers. This thing is going to be on methanol, so it's going to produce a lot of condensation, probably some oil droplets and stuff like that, and we want to have a adequate catch can, I guess you would say. So I'm going to show you how we turn this pile of parts into the catch can. So I'll explain a few things real quick. So whenever I make stuff like this, I have pieces of material like this, and as you can see, it is already drilled and tapped on both ends. Certain kinds of material or certain sizes I keep pre-drilled and usually threaded, except for pipe threads. Since they're tapered, you can't thread them beyond the working length. So anyways, I keep these things threaded and already made because I do it so much, not necessarily for me, but for other people too. So all I got to do is just cut off a threaded part and it's already a bung. So in this case, these are just pipe thread and they have to be cut off. So there's the one that goes on the bottom of the catch can. That's going to be for the drain valve, like this. And then this will be the catch can. This thing is 5 inches in diameter, 8 inches long. This will be for the breather that goes on it. This is the piece that welds into. The bracket in which it mounts to the frame with. This piece goes inside and actually gets a baffle welded to it like that, so that it's not going to stand by itself, but the hoses will point towards the baffle, and the baffle will direct the splash and oil and condensation and all that towards the bottom of the catch can. So the baffle is essentially going to sit in there, something like that, with the bungs pointed, so you can see there, with the bungs pointed at the baffle, so it points it down to the bottom. So let's get started. So we skipped a whole bunch of welding and went straight to the finished part. I got the catch can done, I got the hoses made, and it's mounted on the car, so I'm gonna turn the camera around and check this out. This thing turned out really good. You can see I just added tabs to the water pump bracket right here, and then one right there. You can see it bolts in the front, hoses to the valve covers, and just like that. So now we're on to the what I think is the last thing that has to be done to Bob to have him ready for the dyno, and that is this. This is the Y fitting where the two fuel pumps joined before, and then that little doodad goes on there like that. And we'll have two number 12 inlets wide into a single 12 that goes to the front of the car to feed him all the methanol. And that means, actually I'll show you the other part of that. I don't think I saw it. I don't think I showed it in the earlier part. So I have one of these fuel pumps on the car already, and it had a small, like an AEM 400 or something like that it ran on for low demand, driving around, things like that, and then the big pump turned on. Now, one of the big pumps is going to turn on for low demand, and then when the throttle goes above a certain percentage, the second one turns on, and then the magic happens. So that pump's been sitting on the shelf for a long time, and it had a bad seal in it, so I had to get a seal kit for it, and for stuff like that, I always buy two. So got the seal kit in it. Fuel pump is in great shape. There was no scoring or anything like that on the gears. I think we were on to business, or pretty close to it. All right, we did some more skipping around, and I got the fuel pump, second fuel pump plumbed and wired and all that good stuff, and it's ready to go. I had to rig up a fitting, which I'm not happy with. We'll change it sooner or later on the outlet side of the pump, but all that stuff is done. So I think it's a good time to fire it up on methanol for the first time. So since I didn't have any kind of tune-up, even out of my own stuff for methanol, what I did is I went into the Holley base tunes and I exported the fuel table and a spark table out of something that was as similar as I could find. So it should start and run okay, but that's really it. Everything else in the tune is the same. Injector data, all that jazz. The only thing I haven't done that needs to be done before the dyno is wiring up the second set of 220-pound injectors. So anyways, let's get some fuel in this thing, send the tune over, and fire it up. All right, time to send the tune up over. I've got all the changes in there. Everything looks pretty good. Go engine parameters, methanol. We look at ignition, looks good. Nothing's really changed, just the fuel stuff is all that's changed. So we got injector type, custom, configure the sets, blah blah blah. And again, it's already ran with all this data, so we really don't care about that very much, but we'll check it anyways, right? First set is good. Let's send it over and see what it looks like. So fuel is different, spark is different, and that is exactly what we expected to see. Send to ECU. Okay. Doesn't tell us to reconfigure to power cycle it, but we're going to. All right, everything looks good. Get us a dash going right here. And no better time than the present to start it. Kind of as I expected, it started right up, it's idle and perfect. Let's see what we got. Cycle so we can see all that stuff in the data log to make sure everything is okay. Well, it's better than I thought, or maybe I expected it to be that good. I don't know which is which, but Bob started up, first try on methanol, nothing crazy, no drama, no leaks, nothing like that. So I would think we're gonna go ahead and call that a success, because that's good. That is a huge step in the right direction. Now there's not a whole lot left before dyno time, and hopefully that's going to happen within a week of you seeing this video. It kind of depends on when my new truck gets here and if I have a way to pull it to the dyno, because that is not going to pull it to the dyno. So anyways, I think that's a good place to end the video. It's always good to end on a positive note, a step in the right direction, if you will. So thanks everybody for stopping by, checking it out, following along and all that neat stuff. I sure do appreciate it. And if you didn't know, we are on Instagram as well. Be sure to check us out there as well. Thanks guys, we'll see you in the next one.